Hey everybody, and welcome back to our next adventure in Pat Stewart's book, Love Stories. In the early days of GPS, Jack introduced Pat to Mandy, the other woman in their lives, who gave commands while they drove. She was the voice he selected for the GPS they had received as a gift. Pat demanded that Mandy prove she could read a map as well as she could. Let's find out. Part 3, Evolving, Menage à Trois. Jack was in the driver's seat. I was in the passenger seat as we left for a trip to Missouri. In between us sat Mandy, the other woman in our lives. She came as a Father's Day gift from our children. "We knew you were leaving for a trip, so we gave it to you early," said Susie. Mandy is the voice of his new toy, a TomTom Global Positioning System, or GPS. This gadget is a satellite-based system that provides location and timing information around the globe, according to the pamphlet. I wasn't worried that Mandy would become a soulmate, but I did want her to show me that she was as good as those maps I get from AAA. I don't brag about my map reading skills, but Mandy has to prove she's at least as good as I am. It was difficult to get Mandy set up the first day. Mandy got excited when we ignored the commands, turn right in 400 yards, then make 2 lefts. We couldn't visualize how this would get us to where we wanted to be, so we often ignored her. Most of the time, she was on target. It just wasn't the way we were used to going. Jack couldn't ignore her when he took her to the restaurant men's room during our lunch break. Everyone had warned us to take the GPS out of the car when we stopped. What Jack forgot was that Mandy was in his pocket and still turned on. A female voice came out of his pocket. At the first opportunity, turn around and go the other way. He decided to wait until the coast was clear before he left the urinal. After that, he figured out how to turn Mandy off and not lose his settings. What she did do was signal churches. The first time a trumpet blared out of her, we were alarmed. Was there some big problem ahead? That is an optional feature that Jack set without realizing what he had done. Mandy was a little confused when it came to churches. She alerted us to most Baptist churches but ignored many others. On the way home, we began to doubt Mandy and resorted to our paper maps when it looked like we were heading to East St. Louis, a place most travelers avoid. While I was juggling the paper maps, listening to Mandy's orders, and trying to read the road signs, the cell phone rang. It was a Father's Day call from daughter Nancy. I told her we'd call her later. Jack went along with Mandy's orders, and we were on our way to southern Illinois, the route we wanted. Mandy's downfall occurred a few miles from home when she tried to send us to some remote corner of Greenville County instead of our home base. Again, we chose to ignore her and arrived safely home. A few days after we got home, Jack told me, "I'm going walking on the Swamp Rabbit Trail. Mandy will be with me, so don't worry if you don't hear from me for a few hours. She'll get me home safely." It has been a few hours, and it is starting to get dark. I trust my husband of 54 years to be on that downtown walking trail and not on a plane to somewhere in South America. I'm still a little skeptical of her. Maybe Mandy can tell me where he's been. Now that she's a fixture in our home, I expect her to earn my trust. Next week, Pat asks herself, "Do I really want to be in this place?" She's writing about working the night shift in the hospital lab, doing EKGs, setting up for blood transfusions, and responding to emergencies. She was sure she had more to offer. Listen next week as we read Lab Tech at age 45.